Hello, everybody. This is Narada, and I wanted to talk about the difference between religious doctrine and spiritual truth. I think if more people focus on this a little bit, it might open them up to making further progress faster, okay? So religious doctrine, religions are there as a tool. So therefore, all of the doctrine of those religions, doesn't matter which one, they're a set process that somebody has found, right? And so it comes through. There's a set process that when contemplated deeply enough, with enough devotion, with enough compassion, with enough focus, energy, and attention, for as long as it takes to truly understand what they're trying to get you to, which is at the end. And that part is spiritual truth. You'll notice that all of the saints or sages of all faiths, the ones that have took their faith, their religious doctrine, to the absolute extreme, as well as in, and sometimes people get this confused. They only think of the Abrahamic religions, right? But this works, same thing for all of the non-Abrahamic religions, which would be considered any pagan faith as well. Even, solitary, etc. If you take witchcraft, for instance, doesn't matter which branch. If you take it to the fullest extent and you understand it at its fullest, deepest degree, it's a situation of interacting with angels in complete surrender of ego and the deepest degree. Guess what? That's the same thing as every single sage of every single religion that has ever existed, Abrahamic or not. Now here's the thing. Religious doctrine, spiritual truth from the mystics, two different things. Spiritual doctrine is created by those that haven't obtained that yet. They watched somebody that had spiritual truth. They created these tips, tricks, etc. And some of them may have worked for the individuals creating it, but it may not work for everyone. That's why we have so many. What I recommend, if you're struggling with your spiritual process or you're struggling with spirituality to begin with, or if you still have religious trauma, because that religious trauma will hold you back, period. I mean, I'm not saying you have to go to a religion. You don't. You can gain these spiritual truths without a religion as well. And that's why they're so powerful, because they're truth. Now, one of the problems we get is a lot of people going, well, everybody can believe whatever they want. Absolutely. I totally agree. Everybody can believe whatever they want. However, there are spiritual truths. A spiritual truth is also not a belief. It's not a belief system. It's like a law, right? These things happen, no matter what. Nobody's governing it. It just, this happens, right? And that is spiritual truth. When anybody takes their spiritual journey far enough to the fullest extent, you come to the same understanding that all the sages have. Everything that I teach is not different. People call me crazy daily. People aren't ready for what I have to say, especially in the spiritual community, which is interesting because a lot of them are spiritual leaders in the community, people that have spiritual businesses and things like that, but they still don't understand it. And a lot of them don't want to understand the deeper aspects, the faith, the devotion aspects, because of religious trauma and because of the misunderstanding between religious doctrine and spiritual truth. If somebody's spitting religious doctrine at you, that might work for them, that might not. If somebody's speaking spiritual truth at you, that's a totally different situation. You're talking to a prophet, you should pay attention, right? So it's all a matter of that paying attention to what each one's purpose is. Spiritual truth just is. That's the reality when you search far enough. Whereas religious doctrine are steps, tips, and tricks to try to get to that spiritual truth. All right, everybody, I hope that this helps, and I hope it helps also people that are fighting amongst religious doctrine that may watch this, because then you can be like, oh, okay, well, this is just some tips and tricks I'm using, right? And maybe some of the folks that are following religious doctrine as well, or those that aren't. If you're doing, the New Age thing, that's fine too. But for everyone out there, I say be open, be receptive to spiritual truth. Now, truthfully, it's up to your karma whether or not you can actually hear the spiritual truth, which is why there's a lot of debate on this anyways. There's a lot of issue on this. There's debate on the truth, because it requires a certain level of karma before you can even perceive it, really. So don't be hard on yourself. If you're not there, just keep doing whatever works for you to get further in your process. There are some standard rules. That's why I follow the yogic sciences, which is the science of merging with God source consciousness. It's not a religion. It is literally a set of rules and faiths and how to work within that rule system of spiritual truth. All right, everybody. I hope that this video helps. Have a great day on purpose and stay mindful, everyone. Namaskar.